At 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick. Everybody, welcome to the show. It is me, Matt Slick, and you're listening to Matt Slick Live. If you're new to the show, Matt Slick is my real name. All right, works great for radio. Hey, if you want to give me a call, all you have to do is dial 877-207-2276. We have 5 open lines, so give me a call. All right, so just wanted to let you guys know that I do Patreon. Did a Patreon video last night and did it on an apologetics approach using some various questions. I'm going to actually work on that some more, make an article out of it. And I'm going to try and do a video. I think we're finally ready for me to be able to do videos again. We'll see how that works. So hopefully that'll turn out nicely. And if you want to, like I said, give me a call. I want to hear from you. 877-207-2276. And today I released an article, What is the Social Trinity? And I did a little bit of research on this. You know, the Trinity doctrine is a really important doctrine. And I went in and did some analysis and some stuff like this. There's actually, well, it's not a big deal. It's just some people think the Trinity is three, when they say three persons, they mean three centers of consciousness. And the three centers of consciousness are like three parts of God. Their whole comprises God. And the problem with that is that it implies polytheism. And it dissuades the listener from understanding and accepting what's called divine simplicity. So there's some issues there. And I wrote an article on that. You know, it's really necessary when you get into this level of theology, and most people don't need to worry about it, but when you get in this level of theology, it's really important to understand a lot of particulars and be able to deal with the issues. And they interrelate with things like perichoresis and divine simplicity. And so, perichoresis is the interdwelling of each member of the Godhead with the others. And so it's a perichoretic indwelling. A perichoretic would be a cognate of perichoresis. And so, you know, there's so much theology, and I was reading up on this stuff, and I'm going to tell you, there's just so much stuff to have to study, and I continue to study and continue to work on stuff. By the way, I'm on chapter 10 of my first novel. I'm rewriting it. And then as soon as I'm done with it, I'm going to jump in and work on the second novel. I've already written 3 or 4 chapters. A lot of people have been asking me to complete that, and so to work on that, and I'm going to. And so there you go. I got some other stuff. I enjoy writing novels. I enjoy writing fiction. There's something soothing about it, and it's just kind of fun to make things happen, so to speak, on paper. So that's fun. Okay, well, there you go. And if you'd be so kind as to consider supporting us, all you got to do is go to carm.org, carm.org/donate. What we ask is $5 a month. We ask that because, well, we do need to stay on the air and with the support missionaries, keep the lights on, pay for the hosting of this website, all kinds of stuff. And I know the economy is getting tough for a lot of people, and it is, and for us as well. So I've just been thinking, I'm going to ask $5 a month. That's hardly nothing. And if we get 1,000 people to do that, then we can cover our bills. And I'm going to have to ask my wife because she's the one who does all the records, and she can tell me, maybe she will, if she's listening right now, she can tell me what our goal a week ago started was to get 1,000. And I don't know how many people signed up, and we have had people do that. So there you go. All you got to do is go to carm.org/carm.org/donate, and all the information's right there. Let's just get in the phone with Michelle from Raleigh, whom we just lost. And the topic, I want you to call back. That's an important topic about the destruction of our country. I'm interested in that topic. And we have 4 open lines, 877-207-2276. Let's get to Paul from Virginia. Paul, welcome. You're on the air.
Yes, my question is about Revelation 18. I have a 2-part question.
Sure.
Revelation 18:23, which talks about sorcery, which is my understanding of pharmakia. And then I would like to know where in the time there's all kinds of different beliefs around pre, mid, post, trib, etc. But I wanted to know where in the time is Revelation 18:23,
Oh,
and then secondarily.
well, let's do that. Let's do that one at a time. So you want to know where is Revelation 18, and that's a good question. I would say it's in the future. Now, that's kind of a tongue-in-cheek answer, but people. It depends if you're premillennial, postmillennial, amillennial, and when that might work. Some say, well, there are different views. So I'm not exactly sure what you're asking, though. Okay, maybe you can clarify.
Well, let me go to my next question.
Okay.
Which is, recently I had an issue with a prominent cell phone company where they more or less forced me to upgrade my current device to a more recent phone.
Yes.
And I was resisting because of the 5G and because I didn't need a new phone. And this has been going on for several months. And my phone was being cut off and these type of things were occurring. And I had called them and told them that I wanted to keep my current phone. But finally, when we got into Memorial Day or the May 31st, they said, no, we're not doing that again. Today at 9 p.m., your phone will be cut off and you have no other choice. Okay. So I went out.
How old is your phone?
My current phone or the phone I had before May 31st was an iPhone 6 Plus.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd had it for nearly 7 years.
Okay, 7 years. Okay, all right. Okay.
And I was getting conflicting information as I took it to a computer repair independent where they do independent work. And the guy said, I don't understand why they're telling you that because your phone is really fine. And I had previous conversations with other people around whether it was a marketing thing to sell a new phone. But if people will notice what's going on, they're actually giving away the phones now. They're pushing the 5G so much that they're giving the phones away.
Okay.
So I chose the iPhone 11 because the iPhone 11 is not 5G and I didn't need a 13. So I was able to get the phone for free. But my question is, how far or how quote unquote deep does a Christian go? Because on this very same station yesterday, they were discussing China's rollout of digital currency in 2021.
Okay, well, I don't understand what your question is. You were right in the middle of a question, and then you stopped with the question, and then started going into another topic. So, what's your question?
My question is, how far deep into the system, for lack of a better word, does a Christian go before you get into the mark of the beast? And can a Christian be tricked into receiving the mark of the beast?
Okay. Well,
hold not have anything to do with it?
Okay, you're asking a lot of different things, so I'm trying to focus here. So, how far into a system do you go before something the mark of the beast, before you're involved with it?
How far into the system does a Christian go before it becomes the mark of the beast?
Okay. First thing is we have to know what the mark of the beast was to know. And some people have different theories about what the mark of the beast is. So if the mark of the beast is literally something in the right hand and the forehead, which seems to be the case, then getting a new phone doesn't constitute the mark of the beast. It's not putting a mark on your forehead or hand. Okay.
So you're saying it's going to be an actual mark?
I believe so.
Not a wearable, any type of wearable device?
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying what the scriptures tell us is that it's a mark on the forehead or the right hand. And that's what it says. And so,
which could be something like quantum dot tattooing, possibly.
I don't know. It just says another angel, a third one, followed them, saying from a loud voice, "If anyone worships the beast and his image and receives a mark on the forehead or on his hand, he also drink of the wine of the wrath of God." So, what is that mark? It's just a good question. Is it literally a tattoo of 666? Is it a microchip? I don't know. As technology goes, a quantum chip, maybe, maybe not. I can't tell you. I just don't know.
Right. And so this rollout of digital currency in China in April of 2021 was tested in 20 Chinese cities. And the Federal Reserve is also running this test, according to a report on this very same station yesterday from the person that follows you. So I guess I'm trying to maybe determine if possible, the phone was maybe just an example of what I'm trying to get at. But can the Christian be tricked into receiving the mark of the beast?
I would. It all depends. If a Christian is aware that it's the mark of Satan, then no. If he's not aware, maybe. I think what the Bible's talking about are those who willingly do it, who worship the beast, his image, and receive the mark on his forehead and his hand. Those who receive both, they are intending that it be something that they participate in order to buy and sell, and are submitted to the Antichrist. So that's what it seems to be.
Okay. In my case, then I could have, I guess, went to a different phone carrier, maybe, and with this issue that went on for several months while I was resisting, until finally they said, no, you either get the new phone or we're cutting off your service after 22 years. So do you believe that big tech will be involved in the mark of the beast?
I don't know. I just don't know, because I don't know what the mark of the beast is exactly. And without that, I don't know. I can't tell you. I can only say it might be this, it might be that. And that's the best I could do.
Yeah. And so there's no way for the Christian then to, because I'm hearing you say that it's possible for a Christian, if they don't know, to continue into the world system of buying and selling, and possibly at some point take on something that is the mark of the beast, and they may not know it. And the Bible says, if I understand, that if a Christian or if a person takes on the mark of the beast, they will go to hell.
Yeah. And it seems to be the context is it's a willing and worshipful act of submission to the Antichrist. What if someone forces you, takes you, to chip, and they lock you up and force it? That doesn't mean you're doing it. So hold on. Okay, we got a break and we'll be right back. Okay, folks, we'll be right back after these messages. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Millions of believers worldwide suffer persecution for the gospel, with 2021 being the most violent year in modern history for the gospel. Islamists are killing Christians in record numbers, while godless governments are jailing outspoken believers worldwide. And this despite the fact that millions of believers don't even have a Bible. I'm Dave Compton from WPET and the Truth Network. I'm asking you to join with Truth Network in June, bringing Bibles to persecuted believers worldwide with the Bible League International. The Bible League gives Bibles in Bible training programs all over the world. Last year, they helped plant 1,400 churches and reach over 2 million people, many with the first Bible they have ever seen. Join us right now in helping Bible League. Call 1-800-YES-WORD or go to truthnetwork.com right now. $5 gets a Bible, $50 gets 10 Bibles, right to persecuted believers. Do it right now, please. 800-YES-WORD or truthnetwork.com.
All right, crew, let's get her dug.
Honey, you want to give me a hand? I'm planting that tree, remember?
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 business days before any digging project, so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. This includes natural gas and petroleum pipelines, electric, communication cables, and water and sewer lines. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
Everybody, welcome back to the show. We have 3 open lines. Why don't you give me a call? 877-207-2276. Let's come back to Paul. Paul, are you there?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so where were we? Okay, Mark of the Beast.
Well, yes, and I had originally asked about Revelation 18:23. The word sorcery is related to pharmakia, but also I'm concerned about the mark of the beast. And as I had stated previously, you said in relation to my question that it is impossible if a Christian can be tricked or...
It might be possible. I'm not saying it is, because I don't know exactly what the mark is and the condition. Therefore, I can't say what it is or isn't. I can only say there's possibilities we could look at using logic. That's all I'm saying, okay?
Yeah. And then I guess as a final follow-up, then I'm concerned that with the world system and big tech that I was coerced into, as I said before the break, be more or less forced to buy this phone. And these apps and these QR codes are becoming more prevalent. And concerned as to how far a Christian goes before they say enough. I'm not doing any more with this system because it's taking me towards the mark of the beast.
I can't answer that. It's too general a question and say, how far do we go? I can't answer it. Okay. You resist as much as possible the work of evil in the world. And it's increasing. We're at war. We're at a cultural war in this country, for example. And with the rise in the evil face of socialism, which is communism light, and the death that it brings and the oppression it brings, we're moving that way. I don't know what to tell you. It's bad. Okay.
All right, then. Well, thank you for taking the call.
Sure. No problem. All right, folks, if you want to give me a call, 3 open lines, 877-207-2276. Let's get to Michelle from Raleigh, North Carolina. Michelle, welcome.
Golly. Well, I went from the first and then disconnected. I disconnected. But my question, I Yes, I was listening to a gentleman last night. I mean, is it okay to say who I was listening to? It was on this radio station.
You can mention them, I'm sure. Yeah.
Is it okay? I was listening to Steve Noble
Okay.
yesterday, and it was chilling, to
Okay.
say it nicely. I've told several of my friends to check it out. Yeah, and they couldn't believe what was telling. You know, it
What was he
like
saying?
I mean, okay, I know, get to it, right? Thank you.
No, that's right. What was he saying, though?
All this, gee, I wonder why the open borders, why this and that, the other, why the gas price, because all being done intentional,
Sure it is.
deliberately,
Of course it is.
so they can bring it. I didn't know that. Like, they bring it on down so they can do the first.
Of course it is.
reset.
Of course it is. People
God
don't
help
believe
them.
in the Constitution, and they're against the law. They're opening the borders, and they're shipping people by flights. They're still doing it through the night into different parts of the country. They shut down
Yeah.
the oil production and then make us dependent upon external places of sources. Then the cost of gasoline and diesel rises, which affects everything else because all our products are delivered
Yeah.
that way. So what it happens is people get so desperate that what they'll do is they will settle for a cure. What the left does, it's a strategy, thesis, antithesis. They bring to bear a crisis that they create.
The
And
Antichrist.
then what they do is they propose a solution that by the time they do, we're ready for a solution because it's so bad. They make themselves look good. They gain power. Furthermore, you'll notice that one of the things that's happening is now Biden, the chump, he has stated that the Second Amendment isn't absolute. Now, there's more and more talk with the Second Amendment, and there's people who want to repeal it. Once you repeal the Second Amendment, the First Amendment is next. Once they say you can't have the Second Amendment, then there's nothing to stop them from doing the First Amendment with this freedom of speech. They'll have power over your hands, and they'll have power over your words. This is what's
They're already sliming around with that, aren't they?
they're working
The
it.
free speech?
They're working it. This is why the conservatives need to be extremely united and extremely active, and they need to stop what's going on. Yeah, I've been telling people this in different levels, different degrees. I've been saying it for years.
I know the fanatic that you are. Yeah, I first started listening to you a couple of years ago, and I thought, but the more I have, I listen to you. Well, probably every single day now. I keep it on Truth Radio 24/7.
Good.
So when I'm not here, my cat hears it. But anyway, you, I believe what you've been saying. I really do. Unfortunately, you know, it's,
I've been telling people
it's not
stuff
happening in front of us, but
yeah, I've been telling people for years.
but, you know, God's got us.
But there's more to
Greater
this.
is in us than is
Yeah, I know.
greater in us than is in the world.
I know that's
You
true.
know,
I know it's
but
true.
it's a trip to watch it happening in front of us.
But it's going to
you know.
continue to happen. It's going
I
to
know.
continue to get worse unless we stand up and say no more. And it needs to have already been done. The Christian church, I say this, people think I'm just Mr. Pessimist. The Christian church has been weakened severely. They're not teaching biblical theology in a lot of
And what
depth.
they're calling churches these days, you know.
And we have false
Let me let you go to get other callers in, but I just want to, comment on what I heard yesterday was
okay. Well, appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Michelle.
Anyway, God bless you, brother.
You
Thank
too.
you, sir.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Because of what she said, I'm going to continue with this talk a little bit longer, just a little bit. One of the things I've been wondering about is, it appears as though I'm such a pessimist in so many ways because I talk about things like this, and it does get people down after a while, and I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but I'm just saying, we have to sound the alarm, and those of us who are in public places, we need to sound the alarm. And the Christian church needs to be united. The Christian church needs to repent of its own sin. It needs to be united in the teaching of Jesus Christ, and it needs to foundationally teach the doctrine of the Trinity, the imputation of our sin to Christ, justification by faith, and trust in Him. And it needs to be united against unrighteousness. And it doesn't need to be teaching. The Christian church should not be teaching just get into your Sunday morning huddle and you'll be fine and just pray and hopefully the rapture will take you out of here because God's in control and He's a blonde-haired, black Caucasian surfer Jesus, and everything's going to be fine. He won't let anything happen to you. That's a bunch of hooey. It's a load of crud. Because that's not what the scriptures are teaching. Jesus says, pick up your cross daily and follow after me. And if you don't pick up your cross daily and follow after me, you're not worthy of me. And He says things are going to get worse and worse and worse. But there are always oases. Whenever people stand up in righteousness, things change. And we don't know when the end's coming. But for now, we can make that change. And we need to do that. And not let the leftists be the one in control over our lives and teach us what's right and wrong, because they don't have a leg to stand on, and they will only oppress us further and further. And that's what's going to happen. We'll be right back after these messages. Please stay tuned.
We live in an on-demand world. Time, weather, meals, and content. That's why the Truth Network has the Truth Podcast Network. Some of your favorite Truth Network programs, plus some that are podcast only. Rich content that is rich in the Word.
Truth for a New Generation with Alex McFarland podcast is content for all generations of Christians. Alex is an apologetics author and speaker. Alex's greatest passion is fueling any Christian's faith and giving all the stuff needed to do the same. Truth for a New Generation podcast at truthnetwork.com.
As the world faces the challenges of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Lions recognize that kindness matters now more than ever. And Lions and Leos are finding ways to continue to serve our communities, including ordering food delivery for healthcare workers, holding story time for children online, and providing surgical masks to medical professionals and first responders. Empowering us to do more, Lions Clubs International Foundation has provided nearly $2.5 million in grant funding for COVID-19 relief. And that support continues to grow. For more than 100 years, in times of need, Lions always find a way to help those around them. And after we emerge from this, we will be stronger than ever. Visit lionsclubs.org to learn more.
What makes essential workers essential?
We build safe roads for you to drive on.
We harvest fresh produce for your families to eat.
We help you heal when you're sick.
We get you where you need to go.
We keep where you work and live clean and safe.
We make sure you get what you need to make your household work.
Essential workers who help our nation run. You're in every city, town, and corner of our country, and you come from all over the globe. And you have essential protections under the law. I'm Marty Walsh. The Wage and Hour Division at the Department of Labor helps ensure you receive the essential protections you deserve. If you have questions about your pay or about your job protection during an illness, visit our website or call 866-4US-WAGE. That's 866-487-9243. We can provide help in more than 200 languages.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Labor.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section and after Dad's back injury. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Trouble with opioids can start at home with unused medicines such as pills, patches, and syrups. You can remove the risk and protect your family. Find out how at www.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. During the break, I was coveting over a Galaxy Z Fold. I love tech. The guy was talking earlier about tech, and I'm a tech nerd. I love tech stuff. I just do. And I'm on my phone so much. I want to get one of those things eventually, but anyway, not for now. But how far do we go? Well, always keep your eyes open and don't let technology slowly rule you. That's one of the things you got to be careful about. Also, just to let you know, tonight, in 2.5 hours, I'll be on the net, just answering questions. I do this. It's like this. I'll be on for about 2.5 hours. And if you're interested in checking it out, you can go to the carm.org/calendar page /calendar, and it'll give you the information there of what's going on. Not a big deal. I'm just letting you know that if you're interested in learning a new platform and maybe getting into more conversations, that's another place. Let's get to Glenn from North Carolina. Glenn, we lost Glenn. Now we have 4 open lines. 877-207-2276. Let's get to, I guess, Chuck from Burlington, North Carolina. Chuck, welcome. You're on the air.
Yes, sir, Matt. Matt, I think one reason they're doing this, where they knowingly know that we're going to find out about it, take all these illegal aliens and put them New York, wherever they want to go, it's to demoralize them.
That's one of the reasons, probably.
It's demoralize them.
Well, think about this. If you wanted to take over a country or destroy a country, what are some of the things you would do? You would want the schools to teach a political social system in contradiction to what the country already teaches and is. You would want an influx of foreigners by the millions who come in and overtake that country, who don't believe in how that country ought to be run. And they're socialists instead of Republican. You would get into the media, and you would have the media start pushing varying things. You would want to have the economy be strained, because when people's livelihoods and their homes and their food is threatened, people will fold. Instead of wanting to fight and say, we've had enough of this, people get tired. And because after a while, think about it, if this economy continues the way it is, and in fact, I went shopping today, as a little comment here, I went shopping today, and I'm finding myself not wanting to get anything because it's so expensive. So I'm going to buy less and less. What's happening is there's a psychological, emotional fear of buying too much, because how much is it going to cost? Go get gas? Well, I'm not going to drive as much. So the economy slows down, and that causes a trickle-down effect, a spiral effect, where the economy gets worse and worse. Then what you do is you spend billions of dollars by just printing more money, and that causes inflation to rise. The people get so weakened, they're so tired of it, that they'll just almost go with anything just to get their security and their safety back and regularity. So the left is, I believe, organizing and working towards that end. And furthermore, they don't believe in the Constitution. Now, you think about this. The left advocates using violence. And all you got to do is watch the TV, and when they would go out, for example, and protest in front of the federal judges' houses, that's against the law. And then our government does not enforce that law. And so what they're doing is encouraging people to break the law, but it's against what they think might be conservatives. But when conservatives do anything of the same value in any way, then they're the ones brought up on charges. This means that we can't trust our government. We can't trust the feds. We can't trust the judicial system anymore. This means people are getting more and more afraid, more and more worried. This is what's happening in this country.
Resentful, too.
They're thankful?
Makes them resentful.
Oh, resentful. Yes.
Yeah, resentful.
That's right.
Resentful.
So the left, people, you got to understand, the left creates the problem and then punishes others to gain power. So you hear about all the gun violence that's going on. Well, why is it going on? What the left wants to do is put a Band-Aid on the symptoms. So the problem now are the weapons. And the support of the weapons is the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, Second Amendment. So that's going to come under attack more and more. Once they justify getting rid of that or modifying that, and they're in power because they've had everybody come into the country. They've done what they've done. I don't trust my opinion, I don't trust the voting system. I don't. Just my opinion. I don't trust it. I don't trust how it works. So then you can't trust what's going on if they retain power. If, for example, in November, you find out that the Democrats gain more and more offices, then you know that the whole system's crashing down, that you can't trust what's going on because the polls all across the board are against the Democrats because of what they do and the problems that they cause. They've removed God out of our schools, God out of our culture, God out of our games, God out of our politics, God out of everything. And it causes problems when everybody starts doing what's right in their own eyes. They're the ones who fomented this problem. And then when things get bad, they blame the conservatives. See, it's your idea of guns that are causing the problem. They're liars and they're hypocrites, and they need to be voted out of office. And when conservatives move, what they do is peacefully protest. They don't want to break the law, but the left knows they can break the law. And what they do is they have the attitude of war, because war means you disregard what is ethical in order to destroy your opponent. You disregard, you want to cause them harm. So you dox people. You say, here's the addresses of all the people's homes of the conservatives, knowing that that puts them at risk. But that's what the left does, because they don't care about fairness. They don't care about truth. They care about their agenda because they've been brainwashed. And this is what we're up against. They're united and we are not. And if we don't get united and fight them one way or another, that they're going to take over and they are going to oppress us all the more. And that's a fact.
And you know what it is, Matt? You know what it is also, Matt? This is all they have, this life now. They have no eternal life. They're not saved. And this is all they have. This is all they look at, like you say, gaining power. And this is it. This is it for them. Well, you know, it's too bad. You know, I thought you sold me on your ministry when you said you wanted to bring more people to Christ. And it's great how you teach biblical doctrine and all. And that's what I believe too. And all in our own ways, I like I said, I cast out tracts. I ordered a couple thousand more today. It's a little hard to get them out.
Well,
but
good.
Anyway, that's what I want. That's my part I can play. You know, I can't do too much, but that's what I want to do. I pray, and like I pray, you know, I know God has to open hearts and shine into their hearts for the truth of the gospel to be saved. And that's just what I hope. And I just had a nice time with the Lord today, praising the Lord for his goodness and how wonderful he is. So, you know, if you and I went home to be with the Lord tomorrow for whatever reason, you know, I mean, you know, like he took us a heart attack or something, yeah, we'd have a great future, you know?
Yeah.
We
would, and that's all the case. But right now, we're having to deal with the real life situations right now. We know we're going to go be with the Lord, but he says, occupy until he returns. That means keep busy with the things you're supposed to be doing. We are commanded by God to be involved in politics, in our society, and everything. But unfortunately, the false teachers that are too prevalent in our pulpits have pacified the Christians to the point of apathy and weakness, so that the only thing they're concerned about is feeling good and appealing to the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Caucasian surfer Jesus, who doesn't want anything bad to happen to you. And because of this kind of idiocy that's going on, you know what? That's why we have teachers like Joel Osteen who are so successful, Joyce Meyer, Kenneth Copeland.
Oh, he's so tricky. He's so tricky.
Yes, they are. The thing is, it's because of the failure of the Christian church, and in particular Christian men, to stand up against unrighteousness in the church as well as outside the church. If they're not going to do it in the church, they're not going to do it outside, because they don't have that sense of righteousness. They need to study the word. They need to get on their knees. They don't need to rely on their wives or their girlfriends or their children or anybody else. They need to get on their knees, open that word, and say, Lord, teach me. guide me, and tell me how to be a man after your heart. And just study and go to 1 Corinthians 16:13. Be on the alert, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. That's what I believe in. Okay, buddy, thanks a lot, man. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, God bless. Hey, folks, we'll be right back after these messages. Please stay tuned.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in a booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fan favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
From Love Worth Finding, here's Adrian Rogers with a treasure from the Word.
You know, God wants us to be saved so much that he gives illustrations all over the Bible. And you'll never see salvation pictured more clearly than you do in Noah's Ark. That ark is a picture of the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, here's the ark. It's like a great coffin. It doesn't have a prow. It doesn't have a stern. It doesn't have a helm because it's under the control of Almighty God. It is keeping the judgment waters out. And God says, put a door in the side. And God says, no, I'll take care of the door. Put a window in the ceiling. You take care of the window. What's all this about? Well, that door is the door that God sealed, and when God sealed it, nobody could open it. But the window Noah could open, and he could look up. You see, what are we? We are in Christ, sealed by the Holy Spirit of God, and it is in Jesus that we know God the Father. Is that not true? That when we come into him, we're closed in to look up. The way that we look into heaven is through Jesus Christ, the ark of safety.
For more about Love Worth Finding and Adrian Rogers, visit our website at lwf.org.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Food and Drug Administration.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm sure I'll get kicked off of YouTube for saying what I just said. Also, I might as well go full bore and say I think you should watch 2,000 Mules. Go find it. You need to see it's about the voting system and what happened. And 2,000 Mules, while it's still legal to watch. 4 open lines, 877-207-2276. Gary from Utah, welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing. Yeah.
I know we've talked before a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to give you a quick update while I'm getting ready to head out shortly myself. I know you guys will be getting out over there soon. I don't know if you're aware of there's an outlet I keep in touch with. It's a conservative guy who goes and speaks all over the place, actually. And, you know, they don't have any agenda but the truth, obviously. But he's been getting the videos out from different sources showing that the stuff that's going on in the world right now is actually imploding on the left. It's showing it in every way. From the seats that are losing, you know, and then the right, or I could get you to say conservatives, really. Conservatives that include born-again Christians. It's actually uniting us. So it's actually the opposite.
Hopefully.
I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, I've heard, and I have heard that there are more and more people are entering into the lower levels of government, and they plan to work themselves up through the ranks over the years as a conservative voice. I actually know someone personally who's doing that in the local area, and I totally support that, and we need to be involved and need to. I'm with it. The Christians need to be united. See, over the years, I've just been exposed to so much of Christianity and Christians and churches. I got so many stories of inadequacy and failures on my part, but also in areas that doesn't need to exist in the church. We're fragmented, and we can make such a huge difference. We're powerful as Christians. We're powerful. We have the Lord Jesus Christ. We are so powerful as Christians. The enemy wants us divided, discouraged, and weakened. But all we got to do is say, you know what? We've had enough, and stand up. First kneel down, then stand up. Oh, yeah. Yep. But here's the thing. What would you say if in November, the midterm elections, all of a sudden the Democrats start getting more and more power? What would you think?
Well, I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm just on the outside looking in like a lot of people, but I've been trying to really research a lot of this with the right sources that you get your news from. But I would answer it like saying, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, but I will know it's rigged, of course. I mean, it has been rigged. We know that. But also, they say that in 35 plus states, according to Ted Cruz, I watched the video of it, they said, and counting, they've updated the voter integrity laws. This is something they didn't do on the election time. They were not updated. So now it's going to make it harder for them to cheat because everybody's on to them, including people that voted for Creepy Joe.
Well, this is why they're flooding the country with illegals, so that they can just say, "Go ahead and vote." It's remarkable at the depth and the extent that people who are evil want to control and what they'll do. They don't care about truth.
This is cultural Marxism. That's what it is. Cultural Marxism.
I like that phrase, cultural Marxism. That's a good phrase. I'm going to be using that.
It is.
That's a good phrase.
You know, I was listening. Well, yeah, listen to this, Matt. One of my favorite preachers is Dr. David Jeremiah. I love it, and he has one of his sermons was on socialism. So it went all the way back to the early parts of it, like Lenin and Marx and some of the others, Stalin, I guess it was. Anyways, at the end of the day, at the end of the sermon, everything was biblically supported. I loved it because it talks about everything that's an ism. I don't care if it's atheism, communism, socialism, any ism. They all hate Christians. They hate Christianity. They hate the truth of what Christ stands for. So it's the total opposite. So somebody can't claim to be born again believers, and yet they're supporting that nonsense because it's an oxymoron, and they're not going to fool God. You can't be saved and support that stuff. There's no way.
I'm with you. That's why I said in the radio, I do not understand how anybody can claim to be a Christian and be a member of the Democratic Party when the Democratic Party supports homosexuality and abortion and socialism. All of these are against Scripture, and yet people will vote not because of their understanding of truth, but because of something else, maybe to get a handout. I don't know, but I'm telling you, I am blown away that this is the case. How can Christians
and not only that,
do that?
Not only that, Matt. I was just going to say they also are trying to confuse that there's, God says there's only two genders in Mark 10:6. We know there's only two genders. We know that. But they're trying to make it more, and they're just supporting everything that's, they're trying to church. There's gay churches, which we know they're not true churches, obviously. But they got gay pastors. I'm surprised they don't change. I mean, we know what the word hymn, like when you're singing an old hymn, it has nothing to do with gender. But I'm surprised that they don't try to teach that and say, we're going to sing a her instead of a him. Because they pollute everything.
Yes, they do.
They even try to pollute a man, trying to say a woman. And it's not a gender thing.
Right. Yeah,
Unbelievable.
It is. In fact, I think something that just popped in my mind is to watch the movie documentary by a woman she did called The Red Pill. The Red Pill.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it. I would recommend it. I've watched it twice. I want to watch it again. She's a feminist who started doing research on the problem with men, and then found out, wait a minute, it's really stacked against men and the attack of men in cultures. And it's really interesting. Also recommend Dinesh D'Souza's 2,000 Mules. Start
2,000
watching
Mules.
it. Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Now, get
I
this.
know about that.
I just said what I said today on here on the radio, and it goes into YouTube, and I bet you that I'll be suspended from YouTube for this show. See, we don't have freedom of speech. We don't have freedom of speech anymore.
They'll probably give you a warning or something, maybe, or you never know.
Yeah, who
These are
knows?
communists, man. They want to try to, they're going to get destroyed, and it's just a matter of time. We know that. It's God's timing. I just hope it's sooner rather than later.
Well, I do too. And a lot of Christians don't know this. But if you read through Psalms, they're worship songs to God. And many of the Psalms are imprecatory, which means that the psalmist is saying, God, go get them, destroy them, wipe them out. There's actually worshipful songs before God that contain imprecations. We can do the same thing. Now, people might be shocked. Man, are you saying you want people to be harmed? No, I'm not. We pray for their salvation. That's what I pray for. And I say, but Lord, if they are of such hearts that their wickedness is what is controlling them, then deal with them according to their wickedness so that they might be brought to repentance. That's how I pray that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I got two verses for you. I'm sure you're familiar with them. And, of course, it's all in context. You're talking about Psalms. Okay, these are two of my favorites. Not the only favorites, but some. Psalms 50, verses 20 through 22, and also Psalms 37, verse 20, I think it is. Yeah.
Let's read those.
Really
As they say, you sit and speak against your brother. You slander your own mother's son. These things you have done, and I have kept silent. You thought that I was just like you. I will reprove you and state the case in order or before your eyes. That's an imprecation. I will reprove you. I want to get you. Yeah. What's the other one?
Psalms 37:20.
I missed that one verse. You said verse 22. It says, now consider this, you who forget God, or I will tear you in pieces, and there'll be none to deliver. Okay, I'm sorry. Psalm what? The other one?
37:20.
37:20.
Talks about vanishing in them and like in smoke.
But the wicked will perish, and the enemies of the Lord will be like the glory of the pastures. They vanish like smoke. They vanish away. And it goes on. The wicked borrows and does not pay back, but the righteous is gracious and gives. For those blessed by him will inherit the land, but those cursed by him will be cut off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Matt, not only those verses, and you know the Bible pretty well, there's so many you could point out. I mean, one of the scariest ones, if you're not saved, I know we're saved, but I'm saying for those who are perishing because they think the Bible's foolishness, Revelations 19, verses 17 through 20 is pretty scary about what's going to happen to them with the giant birds of the sky.
Oh, yes.
Corpses. I didn't even know that years ago. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Woo,
There's also prophecy in the Old Testament about these creatures that come forth. And there's a lot of discussion about them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I tell you.
So there's a lot of imprecatory psalms out there. Yeah. There's a lot of, like Psalm 5 is an imprecatory psalm. And a lot of people don't know. It says this in verse 4 of Psalm 5. For you are not a God who takes pleasure in wickedness. No evil dwells with you. The boastful shall not stand before your eyes. You hate all who do iniquity. You destroy those who speak falsehood. The Lord abhors the man of bloodshed and deceit. Like, whoa. You know, I'm not saying, hey, this is all talk about this all the time, you know, and not Jesus. Of course, it's the balance. It's just come on. You know, we as Christians have to have the whole counsel of God. But I think Christians have been wussified. I do. I'm really complaining right now.
That's true.
I think they've been wussified.
That's true. They've become, a lot of people have become feminized. They're trying to enable things that are wrong.
Men, wait, hold on.
There's so many things.
Femininity is beautiful. Femininity is great. But when you say men are getting feminized, that's what you really are talking about. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Because of the left. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you look at all these, I don't even do TikTok at all. I don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, so we just got to keep him in prayer and let's hope that God reaches whoever he's supposed to reach, you know, because he knows who he's going to save.
That's right.
So I'll keep praying, definitely.
And we as Christians, we have great power. You know what we can do? we can just get on our knees and say, Lord, would you please change this country? Would you change me? Would you change my church? Would you make us more like you? And ask, Lord, just use me. What do you want? And if everybody's praying this, the Holy Spirit who indwells us will start moving his people in a coordinated effort. Do this, do this. It'll take time, but we need to be praying. And not be praying, Lord, get me out of here in the pre-tribulation rapture, because it's getting so bad, I just don't want to go through it. That's not what he says.
No, but I'll tell you this before we close. I know you got to get out of here, but if God, I believe it's a possibility. If he does decide to come and all of a sudden we're gone that quick after the dead and rise, I'm not going to complain if he comes sooner. And he's always in, whoa, where we go? We're getting taken before we thought we would. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it too. I'm hoping pre-trib rapture is true, but
that's what I'm hoping. Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping. But they say pray for pre, prepare for post. I just think the church has been weakened through weak preaching, because people won't attend a church and won't tithe, where strength and responsibility of Christian adults is required per the words of New Testament revelation. They're too often taught passivity and weakness and don't do anything. But that's never the message. Okay? The message is make disciples of all nations. It says go out. They went out 2 by 2. They went out. People tithed. People supported. People prayed. They thought it was serious to get that gospel message out to everybody. It was critical.
You have to.
Not anymore. It's not critical anymore. Something else is. Not the gospel.
Well, I know we got to go, but listen, I'll talk to you again soon.
All right,
Thank
buddy.
you, Matt.
Okay, God bless, man. Hey, folks, there you go. How about that for an enjoyable show? May the Lord bless you by his grace. We'll be back on the air tomorrow, and we'll talk to you then. Remember, go to the tonight, 2 hours to be teaching, answering questions. Go to carm.org/calendar, and you can see the link information. God bless. Bye. All right, everybody. How long before I get kicked off of this YouTube account? What I just said. Okay, now I want to hear you guys' feedback. This is actually something I'm wrestling with. How much to talk like this? Because I'm a fighter. I'm a doer. I'm not a sit-downer person. Let's get up and let's go. There's a problem. There's an issue. Let's take care of it. In fact, my personality, literally, and my wife would verify this. If there's something that happens, like for example, this is how I am. We were at a restaurant, she and I, back before we got married. We're sitting at a restaurant, and right outside the restaurant, there's a car crash. I mean, crunch! And I automatically jump up and I'm running outside that fast. I move. And people are just like, what was that? I'm already out there. And just like that. That's how I am. I'm going to move. I move towards the issue. I move towards it. And, my wife would tell you that Matt goes forward into the problem. He doesn't retreat. That's the attitude we need to have as Christians. Into the problem. Not away from it. Against the gates of hell. Not running from the gates. Moving forward. Tackling what needs to be tackled. Doing what needs to be done. That's why I do what I do in apologetics and teaching. To move forward. What if there's a million of people far more competent than I am doing stuff like this? This country would be radically changed. All right. Matt says, or Jimmy says, Matt, we wouldn't be here if you were a wuss. Yep. That I'm not. That's for sure. Yeah. It'd be nice, but boy, I'll tell you. That's the thing I'm worried about, actually. If there's ever a shooting, I want to go towards it. That's not a good thing. Yeah. Okay, I'm done thinking ranting a little bit. You think of anything? So how'd it go, Laura, Charlie?
The thing we tried to use wasn't quite usable, and I lost my stream of the chat on one of my YouTube channels.
Okay.
Yeah, for some reason I saw it. The chat's disabled, and I don't understand that because everything is set correctly.
And from what venue chat is disabled?
In the
in
YouTube stream.
YouTube? Are you
Yeah.
logged on under that one account? Are you
Yes.
inside of are you
Yeah.
inside of Sandbox?
I'm not in Sandbox. No, I didn't have time this afternoon.
How about
But
you,
I've
Charlie?
got
I'm in under two different accounts, and I'm in an incognito window, and I'm getting the same message.
Okay.
Chat's
We need to go in
disabled.
and look at the account. We can check that out.
Yeah, and I just looked at it and it says all comments. I switched it so it's all comments are okay, and it's still not showing it.
Yep. And I
I
refreshed
wonder.
mine, and nothing happened. You got shut off in the middle of the rant, so they may have done it. The all nebulous. They.
What do you mean got shut off during the middle of the rant? What do you mean?
Well, toward 3/4 of the way through the broadcast is when my chat stream went out, and I couldn't get it back on any browser.
Does anybody else have any problem with that? Or listening in the room? Were they watching? Anything similar thing happen, or was it just Charlie?
It was me too, but anybody else can't comment because the chat's disabled.
The chat, yeah, the video's fine, audio's fine. Just chat is the message at the top is chat is disabled for this live stream. So somehow it got disabled.
Oh, well, it wasn't me. I wonder who would have done something like that.
I don't know. You be the judge.
Yeah.
Could it be? Yeah.
Well, what this is going to do, you're welcome, Carrie. What we're going to have to do is adapt. Let me tell you one thing I've learned through doing stuff like this. When something like this occurs, I smile. Now I do. The reason is because usually something even better is the result. And I'm not joking. Something better comes up. Because, what we're talking about this morning on our little experiment that we did, a bunch of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could use something like that possibly, because it goes into varying areas that we can utilize. It being vague because of obvious reasons. And so there might be some really useful things that come out of stuff. In fact, we could actually, I wonder if we could actually fix it so we could use that for this. And if people want to participate, then they have to join up with what the webinar software.
I just got a text from Thomas saying it switched to Matt Live was switched to YouTube for kids when he was watching.
Oh, okay. Let me see it. Yep. I'm looking at it now. Try YouTube for kids. Learn more.
Wait a minute. I don't understand.
I don't either. Tana said that YouTube, she's been watching it in Oklahoma, and she just texted me and says YouTube for Matt Slick Live switched to YouTube for kids when I was watching.
What does it mean, switch from Matt Slick Live to YouTube for kids? What does that mean?
I don't.
It's an option that shows up under the video box, normally where comments are posted in.
So if it's switched to the kids, then does that mean there's no text? So then that means someone switched it. Some outsider did it.
Okay.
Okay. So was the feed still on Twitter and Facebook?
The feed was still going on YouTube. You just couldn't chat.
Jimmy says YouTube for kids restricts comments.
Yes, it does. It's very restrictive because it's for kids. And so somebody or one of us or somebody flipped the kids mode in the choices in the program.
I just switched it back and it's still not working.
Well, it's interesting because we're in StreamYard. It should not be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you switched it back from kids mode to regular mode, let me refresh mine and see what happens here.
Mine didn't come back up.
Here's a question for the people in the room, and it's a serious question. People who are listening, as things become more difficult for Christians, and this venue becomes something that, let's just say, the unbelievers in their ivory towers restrict. Would you be willing to sign up, say, $5 a month to participate in the same chat room that we had a private webinar system so that you could participate? That's a question. How many of you will be willing to do that? Because it may come to that. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying it may come to that if this kind of thing continues to happen. And Noelle says she can still see chat.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm just refreshing mine again to see.
So Noelle says, not for me. She wouldn't do it. Jimmy says he would. Michael says he would. So it's unfortunate that we have to do something like this, but it may be the case.
I'm going to check my Firefox browser and see if there's any difference there.
Okay. So it's something to consider, is doing a behind the wall. You have to pay to get in, and it could be controlled. So, okay. And who knows? This may end up helping Carm quite a bit, actually.
Sorry.
Let's see.
It may be something like that where we have to do something, and then we could go to another video thing. Instead of YouTube, we go to a place where you have to pay a little bit, and then they have chat and a system. In fact, if I knew of one that was the case, because we've been having more and more problems, if I knew that there was a video platform that we could use, and say it was $5, a month that we had to charge people to come in, okay, and that we could have free text or text. They wouldn't doing all this crap that they do and controlling us. I would just say, hey, folks, we're moving over. Yeah, I would just say, that's it, we'll just do it. So if someone knows of a system like that, maybe Rumble, maybe Vimeo, I don't know, I've heard, I'll have to do some research and see. If that's the case, it may have to be that way. But wouldn't it be nice if we could do that? And because we pay, I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, I got the same result in my Firefox browser.
Okay.
What browser is the lady that said she was getting it? Noelle.
She's on YouTube.
Okay, but what browser does she use to?
Whoa, excuse me.
Okay, it says no, set this channel is not made for kids. And I clicked on that. That's one of my options, and it's still not working.
I wonder if they have an automatic thing if you say certain words and it switches to not for kids or wait, for kids. Why would they wait? That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's not.
Okay. All right. Hey, look at this. YouTube, free. Vimeo. Prices start $7 a month for 5 gigabytes a week, bumps up to $20 a month for 200 gigabytes a week. Upgrade a business plan for $50 a month to remove the weekly limit, or get unlimited live streaming for $70 a month. So if we had, 14 people who paid $5 a month, we wouldn't be losing money if we did Vimeo at the maximum thing. I wonder if Vimeo, creators who want to share their ad-free videos with their audience. And there's Wispy, Instagram free, Twitter is free.
Is Getter free? GETTR? Is that free?
I don't know. It's not on the list. Getter.
GETTR.com.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Let's see. Go to Get her. We need to look at this. We need to, if someone wants to do some research and find out what would be an alternative platform that we could do, then we could get into something. Wouldn't have to worry about what is said. I could say everything I want to say, and I wouldn't have to worry about it. And we can use it to help fundraise for CARM a little bit all at the same time.
There's Discord.
Discord, yeah, we want to be able to have chat. Oh, Discord, that's true.
They do have chat and video.
Yeah.
There's Twitch TV. I don't know if it's free, but a paid account has a lot of options on TWITCH TV. I've got an account with them.
Well, we need to do some research. That's what we need to do. Yeah, more to do. Okay.
You might want to check your Zoom account you already have and see how many participants you can get on that too, and if it'll stream outward.
Yeah, that's what we. I was thinking about talking with Luke about. He knows it better than I do.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just thinking out loud. Remember, if it ever sounds like I know what I'm talking about with tech, that's a mistake, right?
It's a glitch in the matrix.
Just remember that.
Oh, Noel's looking at it through MeWe.
Oh, MeWe. I've got a MeWe account.
Yeah, we could look at this to see. I think we should just do it. I think we should move to another platform and do something that's paid under something, and then we just work it. Discord requires an approval from admin to let members in. Yeah, but that's not a problem. I'm on Discord frequently, and I have a CARM server on Discord. So we got to look into this. I wish I knew somebody who knew stuff. They could just tell me, Matt, here's what you need to do. Best thing. Vimeo premium pricing, $75 a month. That seems to be the most. Wow. Cultura. Bright Cove. JW Player. I don't know how to go with the Jehovah's Witnesses. Flow Player. See if we can just embed it into the CARM site. You know, we could also do is somehow create a new page. What do you think about this? We create every day for the radio show, we create a new article and embed the video in it. And someone like Laura or somebody writes in time stamps, types in what the topic was about. And that's what their discussions, and it becomes that, and it becomes a new web page with a video embedded in it.
Oh, really?
You're not doing anything. You can do that easily.
I am so bored.
Yeah, you're just. I know. I'm aware. You're just bored. You don't do much. So what's the problem? Charlie doesn't do anything either. He just.
I know. We're slackers.
Yeah, you guys are total slackers. So Donna, what would be a reasonable monthly membership? I'm thinking $5 a month. What do you guys think? $3 a month? $5 a month?
Yeah. That's not too bad.
There's another thing. Another way to do this is Patreon. You can embed videos in the Patreon. You can give people access, but they have to. That's another thing. And the only way to get in is to pay, and you can have different levels of payment, and you can watch a video live inside of it. Because it could be an unlisted number. Because this is what they can do on video, on YouTube, for example. You can create an unlisted number. And you can have the URL, but you embed it inside of Patreon. And the only way anybody could get into it, they had to be a member of Patreon, which is supporting CARM or whatever. And then they get in and they do this, and then they can watch the video and they can participate because then you could have the chat system also inside of there. Michael says $5 is very reasonable. This is what I do with my wife. Okay, I'm tempted to do the same thing. I said to my wife one day, I did this actually. I said, "Hey, hon," we're at the mall, walking around. I go, "Would you run, not walk, but run naked from one end of the mall to another mall side for $1 million?" She goes, "Yes." You go, okay, for $500,000. She goes, yeah, probably. $250,000. She goes, maybe. I go, okay, $350,000. She goes, what are you trying to do? Trying to find the exact dollar that would be you say yes or no to. She goes, would you just go? So I'm thinking, reasonable. So Michael, what would be 550? I want to do the same thing. Get smacked. Picture got too expensive for me. Maybe I did it wrong. Yeah, I don't know how from the outside how it works.
Yeah, I'm trying to find you on MeWe, and apparently I have to upgrade.
No, you don't, Charlie.
No?
No, I don't. It's just a page on there that I put all this stuff on.
No, I mean to watch the live stream. I didn't know MeWe had a live stream.
It doesn't. I just post the YouTube link on me.
Okay. I thought Noelle was watching via MeWe.
Well, that's why I was confused. It was.
No, I was confused, as usual.
But it's fixed now.
Not for 1 month.
You can. There's chat now.
Oh, Joanne, I have to go in and look at that and make sure I understand what's going on, because that's not supposed to happen. Okay, who wants to know what this is? I was doing this. What is this? No one's going to guess. Nobody's going to guess what it's for. It opens up. Okay. It opens up. What's on the inside? What's it for? Mark says
something like that.
Here's
I know
what
it's in mine.
This is what it's for.
Oh.
SD coin thing, whatever.
Excellent. I got the chat stream back now on my YouTube stream. So
manicure set or weapon, says Joanne. I like that. Manicure set or weapon. Okay, look what I ordered today. I got in the mail. Only cost $12, and it's a screwdriver set for small projects, really small stuff. These are man things.
That's what I need.
So, Bill McKeever, right? So Bill McKeever's wife, Tammy, he's the head of Mormonism Research Ministry. So I've known them decades. And so we're talking one day, and Tammy goes, don't give me any flowers. I don't want any flowers. If you want to give me a gift for Mother's Day or something like that, get me a screwdriver or a hammer. You get me a tool I can use. And I'm looking at her like, what? And he just looks at me and goes, that's my wife.
Good for her.
I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Did you ever see that commercial on TV where two guys are on the roof and they're working, they're man work, right? Up there in the hot sun, and they're doing something, building, they're re-roofing something. And in the car door, and they look down, and this beautiful woman, wife of one of the guys, hey, honey, I was just driving home and thought you might need and then she had some complicated name of this tool, a sanding belt grinder with, an offset, gauge measurer. And she goes, I thought I'd just pick it up for you. And she goes, I'll put it on the garage shelf with the other things I got for you. And she walks in, and the other guy goes, does she have a sister? Does she have a sister? Where do you find them? So I thought it was a kick.
Charlie.
Okay, here's something else. I'm in the mood to tell you guys. What's this?
I have to expand my screen to look at it here.
I so highly recommend this. I started a while back, and I use rechargeable batteries. These are rechargeables, right? And I've got AAAs, AA's, I've got C's, I've got D's, and you can get them for 5 volts, the little square batteries, and you can recharge these things. I'm telling you, I won't go back to the regular store-bought batteries. These things are incredible. And I have a table over here, and there's always batteries ready for me. They're in charges always ready. You put these in all kind of stuff. I can have this many just sitting there waiting for me. And when they wear out, which they do after a month or two, I'm not wear out, but the charge goes down, put them back in. Oh, and light turns green on them. I just put them into whatever. I'm telling you, rechargeables. I like these EBLs. I do the EBL ones. That's what I do. Where'd you get that for $12? I got it on Amazon, believe it or not. It was Vice Link. VCE link, I should say. See it? And I used it today. Got it today, used it today. And it's not for heavy duty work. It's just for small things. And that's what it's for. It's got really fine things. Oh, and it came with this pair of tweezers. I'm stalling. Look at this. Talk about points. Look at that, man.
Yeah, those tweezers and that little set is perfect for the machines I'm setting up right now. I was just ready to go to Ace Hardware after this store,
Really?
and go look at see if they got something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I like little tools, and so that I can do, because I work the computers, and it's nice to have that. And what is this for? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, look at this. Hey, check this out. Look at this. Okay. And you can take a, ooh, a mini Phillips on the end of that. Look at that. And you can turn it like this. Okay. Yeah, all the ladies are going, no, I need perfume. And real women are probably saying something like, no, I need a sandwich making kit. I'm not, no one's picking up on my chauvinism. Oh, well. Try to be chauvinistic. No one's appreciating it. Break. There you go. Someone's listening. There you go. Moron. All right. See, it's fun having fun. I love chauvinism. I love all that. I think it's fun. I like it when the girls do it to me. I get a kick out of it too. You know, the reverse chauvinism. And for me, it's a lot of fun. So I enjoy both of them. Okay. There we go.
Well, maybe later you can tell me how you re-engaged the chat.
I didn't do anything.
Oh.
I did.
Oh, you did it?
Good.
So
yes.
Do you understand what happened then?
There is like 20 places you can go for the same thing, and I had to go through every single one of them, put them all where I wanted to before it worked.
Oh, well, you figured out the octopus, so saves me
I'm
so
stubborn.
Then, would you say then that that it was done, that Google did it?
I don't understand. That's all I can think of, because that was really weird. Because where I and Charlie were on there last night checking stuff out, it was in a different place, and it's weird that it just happened in the middle of the show.
Yeah, I think a couple of the common options were available in a redundant menu. So if you put it on in one menu, it might have recognized it, even if you were looking at the other menu where it wasn't checked. So that's what my guess is.
After this show is over, I think I'm going to go in and check all the different 20 different places again and see if maybe that's why what we were doing didn't work, because we had to check it in all these other places.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, we might still be able to do what we attempted to do. Very good. Yes.
Good. All right. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to let you guys are working. That's good. That's good.
I'm
Work.
gonna let her.
That's it.
I'm
Get it done.
gonna let her do the work.
Get work. Come on, get to it.
I'm stubborn and I'm gullible. I mean, what more
That's
do
a
you
good
want
combo.
for volunteers?
So if you're stubborn and gullible, then I can use the gullibleness to my advantage, and then to get you to do something that I stubbornly want you to solve. That would work.
Well, see, if I get too frustrated, I just take an adult beverage, and then I figure it out. And then when I get sober, I forget what I did to make it work.
Sober? Wow.
Well, my adult beverages are medium sized.
Okay, that's good. All right. Whoops. Okay. Ooh, I gotta turn these around. All right. All right. Guess I'm gonna get going then. Okay, you guys.
Yeah, me too. I reached my saturation point of problem fixing.
Okay. Well, I got to be on in an hour and a half on the web teaching, so I'm gonna go take a break.
Teaching in what venue?
Just Q&A. It's on Clubhouse. I have all the link information's on. I updated it while we're even the last break or something. It's all there. You can go see all the apps and everything. Download if people are interested. If not, no big deal.
Great.
Okay.
Does that stream video? Just wondering.
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
All right.
All right, you guys.
So
Let's shut it down. We'll see you. God bless everybody.
You too. Thanks.
Okay. Let's see you. Bye.